This nigga's just throwing chips in that bitch like it's Halloween. You know, he's got a bag of candy over there throwing in a bowl and shit.
All right, ZBD Sports back for another episode. Got a good week of sports this week. Super Bowl upcoming. Some big NBA trades as well. All-Star break is in 2 weeks or like a week and a half. Trade deadline is tomorrow as well. So we're definitely gonna get wrapped up into a lot of that. We've got all the trades to talk about. But first, we're gonna preview the Super Bowl a little bit. I know we were a little bit last week as well, but just do a little bit of a deeper dive for about 25 minutes. Seahawks, Patriots. Look over some of their plays, see where the conversation leads us. But what you got to say, Dom?
Crazy that just watching that. They actually beat them.
Yeah, I think that was first game of the season.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, so I mean, you excited for the weekend? This is the biggest weekend for the football fans. So I know you wearing your old Bengals outfit. You wish Joe Burrow was there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know we do. Always excited, but it's bittersweet because it's no more fucking football. I hate it, bro. It's like, God, you know what I mean? Like, it's so tough because, I love basketball. I love, like baseball and shit, but it's just nothing like that first Sunday of football. So, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's college or Saturday, but first weekend of football. But, it's bittersweet. Interested to see how this goes. One thing I looked at before we started tonight was injuries, because I didn't hear anything about anybody big missing a game, but I thought it'd be, just go through and see if it's anybody. I mean, because, like the oblique injury with Sam Darnold, a lot of shit happens in practice. He wasn't listed on the injury report that I see, so I think he's good. But I thought the names that I did see was a little thing maybe to, kind of watch for.
On the Seattle side or?
Well, both sides.
Drake May? Drake May
is
lingering an injury?
An illness or something like that, yeah, but that might be.
I mean, he's probably gonna be fine.
Yep, and I seen, I want to say Robert Spillane, which would be big for New England, because that's one of their better linebackers. I believe it's with an ankle, so, that's moving back and forth. Defense, you're kind of every play you're running, you know what I'm saying? Like on offense, not every play are you running. I mean, you might be blocking, you might be, whoops. But, you might be blocking, but so defense, at least every play, you got to fucking, you got to tackle somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you in any play on defense, it's contact, you know what I mean, every time. So I think, and then also Harold Landry is another linebacker that I think, should be.
Are they both questionable or confirmed out?
No, they didn't practice today. So, I mean, the Super Bowl is in 4 days or so. I mean, if you're not practicing, it could be something. It could be something. It could be nothing. It could be one of them ordeals.
You still got 3 days, or I mean, I guess you only got two.
Well, generally,
I guess you probably got
one more day of practice. Because generally,
Thursday, and then you want to be in what is it, California?
Well, they're probably already in California.
You think that?
Yeah, they're probably.
Okay, so they're probably practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably have Friday.
Friday's just a walkthrough.
Yeah,
so there's no pads, no contact. But usually the tail of the tape, normally in football, is like if a person doesn't practice on Thursday, or if they're not even there for a walkthrough on Friday, chances they're not playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So like that's just how it normally works. Like I didn't read when I read it. It didn't say that any of these players were in danger of missing a game. Obviously, we know Drake May is not missing. You know what I mean? We know that. So I think it's just something to keep eyes on more or less. Because we've seen injuries. kind of going back to, one I could think of right off the top was, KD when he tore his Achilles in Golden State. He had a calf strain or something like that in that Rockets series. Ended up missing a couple games and then came back. And in the first game he came back, he tore his Achilles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those lower leg injuries, ankles, calves can turn into something much bigger. And, that'll be a blow.
Continue playing on it, yeah.
Right, and it's the last game of the season. So anybody who misses or tears or, suffers a devastating injury may be out for, all the next year as well. But, going into that, I think that the injuries, Seattle side, Ernest Jones, Julian Love, both big pieces on that Seattle defense, and Drake Thomas. So I think everybody, those injuries are definitely something to keep an eye on. But I think we covered a little bit last week. I think the spread is 4.5. I think Seattle will cover that spread. I think it'll be. I'm leaning like 27-20. Like now that I think about it, I was like, I don't remember what I said last time, or what my initial.
Wait, what score did you just say?
27-20. If I think Seattle 27-20. Maybe last second kind of or last drive type of thing. Seattle stops them and wins in dramatic fashion in that aspect. But I think. It'll be, but like I said, New England, man, they're well coached. They got a defense on them, and it's something that we had kind of talked about earlier a couple of days ago. Is like the one thing I think the Patriots have going for them is, well, actually both sides. Because you look at it, you mentioned Seattle hasn't played a defense like New England, and then New England hasn't played an offense like Seattle's. But Seattle's can be a little inconsistent, but I think, if you see anything like we seen last or the week before that, Sam Darnold, then they can score and put up points on anybody. But I don't. What about you? What are you thinking here? I know you're probably figuring you lean in Seattle, but
yeah, no, I think I am probably leaning Seattle, just because I've seen them, especially in that Rams game last week. I was a little bit skeptical because I thought they, going into that Niners game, I thought that they were. I figured they were probably just gonna walk on them, and they did. It was it was an easy game going into it for them. I thought having that first round bye as well. I thought, LA coming off two pretty close games, Carolina game, they had to pull it out. It was close late.
Bears.
Same thing with the Bears as well. I thought the Rams were on some momentum, and I thought Stafford was going to be able to do it. They had they already played each other twice. It was tough. But Sam Darnold, the offense played really, really good, even though the defense didn't play amazing. And I probably wouldn't take Seattle's defense to play or to let up more than 3 touchdowns again. You know what I mean? So, and I think, it also depends if Kenneth Walker can get going a bit too. They definitely need a bit of help from the run game. It can't all just be on the pass game. But I don't know. Maybe Sam Darnold has another crazy game, and JSN has a crazy game as well. I think I don't know if you said this on the podcast, or I remember you mentioned it to me. If JSN goes for 100 and another touchdown in the Super Bowl, you have to put him up there with Jamar and JJ, just in the way that this whole season has been, and caps it off with the Super Bowl. Caps it off with the Super Bowl, and he has just another one of those games, and the biggest game. And
correct.
And he has in every game of the playoffs this year. So at this point, I am kind of rooting for the Seahawks a little bit, I guess. I don't know, but I'm not really a fan of either. I could care less who wins, but I guess it would be nice to see JSN cap off what he's done this year with the Super Bowl. That would be good for him for sure. But I don't know. I mean, the Patriots are definitely gonna make it a good fight for sure. Drake May has shown that he's been clutch in a lot of games this year. They came out in a lot of one-score games. A lot of people have said they had the easiest schedule in the league, but you have to play all the teams that are on your schedule, and you still have to find a way to win at that point. So it's like, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. They also haven't came up against Seattle this year, have they? So they haven't seen debatably the league's best defense. I mean, I know they'll try to game plan for that for sure and try and put Drake in spots that he feels most comfortable in, especially if he's lingering a bit of a illness, like maybe he won't be 100%. Like, just get him into things he's more comfortable in. But yeah, I don't know. It's a Super Bowl too, though. So anything can happen. Like, I don't know.
You know what's crazy, bro? Is honestly, if I'm being honest, my heart obviously is telling me Seattle, but my mind is telling me
the Patriots gonna find some way to.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think Drake May is kind of, you know, obviously, if you ask me, I think, obviously, you know, we have the best quarterback when healthy. You know, if you want to argue, you know, Mahomes, obviously with 3 rings.
I wouldn't say throwing, like, I wouldn't say, like, quarterback ability that Mahomes is better than Burrow, though. I'd say, like, his achievement wise, yeah. But you also got to look at the team that Mahomes has been on too. So yeah.
But with that being said,
go where you were wrong.
He's kind of like not like, you know, they kind of painted or wanted, you know, Mahomes. You kind of seen that he was going to be like the face of the franchise or of the league. You know what I mean? Especially with Brady, like, you know, towards the end of his career.
Just kind of falling off when he did, and the amount of times that they played each other in the playoffs too. Like, he was kind of handing over the reins to Mahomes a little bit.
Yeah.
When Brady lost that Super Bowl to him, you know what I mean?
Oh, they didn't lose.
Brady lost the Super Bowl to Mahomes, didn't he?
Nah. They beat him.
I thought they played twice.
No, they only played once in the Super Bowl. That was
I thought
2019.
they played twice.
No,
I must be tripping.
Oh yeah, it was. 2019 was San Francisco and Kansas City, and then Kansas City played Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay destroyed Kansas City.
Okay.
And then Tom lost. I can't remember who he lost to the next year, but anyways, I think Drake May is kind of what. You know what I mean? The league, just all of the ways they've been able to win this year, the dramatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, just looking at it right now, bro.
They kind, you know, I can see him pulling off like a crazy ass fucking last drive, and you know what I mean? Like fucking, you know, and I kind of I feel like I kind of got to retract from what I said, 'cause even though I think Seattle's going to win, but you know, something inside of me is like, you know, the Patriots, I feel like it's just going to, you know, Seattle will probably be winning the whole game, but New England keeping it within, you know, me striking distance, and then, you know, maybe a muff punt or something in that area, and then now momentum shifted, yeah. And so, or Sam Darnold goes out there.
Special teams, man.
And stinks up the place. You know, Sam Darnold has.
You remember what happened in LA's punt returner muffed that punt, put Seattle on the 5.
Yeah,
that definitely shifted momentum.
Yeah.
Put Seattle up 2 scores at that point, and they just kind of never took their foot off the gas.
No, it was back and forth.
It was back and forth, but they were up by about 2 touchdowns, and then LA kept cutting it down to 1, but they just couldn't. Seattle just kept scoring on them. So yeah, I mean, if Seattle can do that to the Patriots this weekend, then the Patriots are definitely going to be in for a long day.
Defense,
you're right. It's a different defense. So
different defense. They got a fucking lot. I got a dog over there on the corner, Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Gonzo is a dog, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, he's, you know, in between the 1 and 5, however you want to rank cornerbacks in the league, but he's definitely a top 5. You want to say number 1, whatever. It's between him, Surtain. I can't even think of who.
Put Branch up there, maybe. No.
Branch.
Yeah,
from the Lions.
Yeah,
he's a safety.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
No, he's a safety.
Yeah, I'm tripping. He's one of the best. He's probably.
I was thinking of Arnold when I said that. I think
he's probably the best. I mean, arguably, he's probably the best safety in the league.
Yeah.
Right now, and he's only going into his 3rd year.
Yeah.
But that's what Bama does, though. Bama produces. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
They got both of them from Alabama
too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, so you know how Alabama is. Even though they haven't won a championship in a while, they still produce.
I think all of them were playing there when Saban was there. They only got their new coach.
Nate, 3 years ago, going into the 3rd year now.
All of them were playing with Saban.
Yeah, but they only got 1 year, or 1 or 2 years maybe, because Gibbs is going into his 4th year now.
I feel like a few of them transferred into Bama. I know J-Mo did. I don't know if Gibbs did. I feel like Branch was probably there all, I don't know if he was there all 4 years or how many years he played there, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, bro, I mean, if they were there for more than 2 or 3 years, they probably won a chip at some point. Because didn't Bama, I'm blanking the last time they won, but it couldn't have been that.
Last time they won was with Mac Jones.
Okay, was it?
2021, I want to say.
That's only 5 years ago. That's one of those guys would have had. I mean, it doesn't even matter too much for real. But yeah,
it's but yeah, I think Brent. But yeah, Gonzo is.
Is he from Bama too?
Christian Gonzalez. I'm not sure where he's from.
Okay,
I'm about to look that up.
Let me peep that.
But yeah, he's art. So, but then you got 2 good corners, really good on the other side. So, and Stingley Jr. So I mean, you really got between. Those 3, however you want to rate them.
He went to Miami.
University of Miami.
Yeah,
Okay,
Gonzalez did. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Went to U.
But yeah, I mean, you got dogs all across. I mean, you look right now. Jalen Johnson is another one for the Bears, cornerback wise. But
with the Bears, bro.
You say what you want, but he's a good cornerback. Yeah. He missed a good portion of the year. That hurts when you don't have your number 1 cornerback. You know what I mean? And y'all know that because y'all got Kirby. And Kirby is solid, but he just can't stay on the field. I mean, the last 2 years he got banged up a little bit. Yeah. And then you got a dog in Sauce Gardner's up there. I mean, you can, go down the list as far as top corners. But, and they got a big guy in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I want to say 98. They're just stuff shit for New England. So they can stop the run, and they got defense, and they got a nice defensive court or defensive fucking magician or whatever, you know what I mean? And Mike Vrabel's the head coach. So one thing, he specializes in is defense. Yeah, you know what I mean? He was a fucking hell of a linebacker for the Patriots.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to get the Seahawks offense off the field at least sometimes. He's not gonna be able to. I think it's gonna be a fucking down every time.
It'll probably be 7-3 or 6-3 at halftime, dude. To be honest with you, because neither one of those teams have played each other at all this year. So I think they
gotta feel them out a little bit, especially in that first half, and just kind of see what's working a little bit better and see what kind of tweaks they might have to make in the second half, depending on what was working well and not as well. I get that makes sense.
So you got Seattle, okay? They covering the spread? No,
I wouldn't take it just because the fact that I do see I do see a bit of a chance that the Patriots just get a straight up upset. So then that covers spread right there if they win.
Yeah,
but then I could see maybe not by a field goal, but I feel like it's a little bit more than 4.5. I'm gonna check, but I mean. I don't want to say they'd I just don't want a Super Bowl to come down to a field goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I feel like it could be at one of those points where maybe they're down. Like wouldn't have to be or maybe it would be crazy if it goes to OT maybe. Yeah, for sure. But when was the last time a Super Bowl went to OT?
That would be
seeing some overtime.
Kansas City and
it is
49ers.
A few years ago? Okay.
Yep. They went and then, yep. I think the final score was 22-9. I don't remember the final score, but that game did go to overtime.
Okay.
And then Kansas City scored. Obviously, won the game. But, yeah, I think that was the last, because we know last year it didn't go to overtime. The game was over at halftime.
Yeah.
And then, so and then the year before that was San Fran and not San Fran,
San Fran and Kansas City, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then the year before that was Philly and Kansas City. Which that was fucking one of the best Super Bowls I've seen. Man, that game was crazy. I think the final score was like 35-38 or some shit like that. Like that game was just back and forth. You know what I mean? Coming in all game long. That was a great game. But, ultimately, I just hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
And, I got Seattle as a secondary or a second favorite team for me. You know what I'm saying? I've always fucked with Seattle. Going back to Legion of Boom days and shit like that we was talking about earlier this week. But
defense is just fun to watch.
Dude. I mean, when you hit hard and fucking you tackle and, you know what I'm saying, just swarming, like you just see it, in the quarterback in the fucking pocket and he's just reading through his progressions. You know what I'm saying? Nope. And by that
when
time,
he looks up, boom.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's locked up,
You
dude.
just don't have time to do nothing.
Yeah, and they can rush forward and just get to you. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have to bring help. They can just rush forward and get there almost every time. But like I said, I think the biggest, going back to the injury shit, I think the biggest one I would say would be obviously Drake May, but I think he's going to play. But I think Ernest Jones. If Seattle loses him at any point in the game or if he's out for, whatever, that's going to hurt them because he's a damn near the captain of that defense. You know what I'm saying? Ernest Jones is a dog. You know what I mean? And the fact that he didn't get a Pro Bowl selection this year, to me is kind of crazy. I don't understand. I don't even get it anymore when it comes to Pro Bowl. One thing that, speaking of that, just to kind of go off topic real quick, one thing I read about, something that Joe Burrow had actually said was that I think they should go to an 18-game season and then have 2 bye weeks. And then everyone have the same bye week at week 13, 12, whatever, and then you have the Pro Bowl then. Because if you think about it, football is the only fucking sport where they're having their all-star or whatever at the end of the season. You look at baseball, it's in the middle. Basketball, middle. Hockey, middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more players available in the middle of the season versus the end of the season. The Pro Bowl has kind of been trash now.
I feel like, I know it's like viewed as the NFL's all-star game, but like it's not really it's not really like an all-star game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you think about it, bro, a lot of the players that don't play because they're either in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So you're missing a good portion of players that's not playing because of the Super Bowl or because they're hurt or because they lost in the playoffs in a tough game like that. You know what I mean? So right, and then you have the likes of people like Shador Sanders who is playing in the Pro Bowl today, which I like Shador, but you see 7 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like
we only played like 6
games, right? And you know what I mean? Like, and so I think in the middle of the season you'll have, and that's something I think that's something that I know the NFL has been looking to do is up those ratings on the Pro Bowl because it's like the weakest out of any, I think All-Star, whatever. People don't even talk about the Pro Bowl anymore. It used to be fire. Right, it used to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be fire, bro, but now more people are opting out of playing out of the Pro Bowl. And I think it's because at the end of the season, and most of those players are out of the, like I said, Super Bowl. They're out of the playoffs, right? They've been in Cancun fucking 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
they're not trying to play football no more. Yeah, they chilling with their family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in the middle, and then have another bye week whenever you have it. You know what I mean? Because it ultimately moved to eliminating preseason games. You know, have 1 or 2 preseason, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because they've been talks of having an 18-game
or maybe just
schedule.
like 2 preseason games or something.
Right, yeah, and then 2 bye weeks.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're playing 18 games, dude, you need 2 bye weeks. You know, I remember a coworker of mine telling me about something that he read about a running back, and it was like, you know, it almost feels like, I don't even remember how many, like, car accidents, but it's like you think about how many times a running back gets hit every game. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're blocking, whether you're running, whether you're go, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you getting hit by 200-300 pound, you know what I mean, grown ass, you know what I'm saying? So you taking a beat, and that's the reason, I mean, it's only 1 game out of the week. I mean, your body's done after that. You know what I'm saying? So 2 weeks.
You gotta be able to rehab after that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But
and you got at least 18 games. Like, that's a lot. No, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that would help. But that, like I said, that was just a little off topic. Kind of thing I wanted to bring up. I read about the other day, so I kind of agree with that. I think that'd make things a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
If you're playing in the middle of the season, when players haven't.
No, I mean, I think that would be a good topic to get into, like, during the off season, like when we can just talk about some shit that's not going on as much, just. Because there's definitely gonna be trades going on in the NFL. Like, we can talk about the draft, the draft and all that.
I want to say March 1st or March is when free agency, or March 10th or 1st is when free agency opens up. So
we'll have
that morning when we wake up, it'll be fucking X amount of players signed here, came back. You know what I mean? So that kind of today with the NBA trades, which I think probably shift into that. I mean, NBA.
Yeah.
Get a little basketball talk.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big day today. There had been a few trades earlier in the week, but definitely nothing as big today.
Man, crazy.
This morning, Jaren Jackson Jr. was the main name in that trade, along with Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams. So, I mean, 3, like, and Conchar, Vince Williams, and Jock Landale so the Jazz gave up, Niang and Kyle Anderson, who were kind of both on expiring contracts, getting older, and George Hendricks or something, the rookie. I only wrote down his last name just because I was getting tired of writing at that point. But I ain't gonna lie. So sorry if I missed his first name. But So I feel like Utah. The 3 first-round picks, right? But so that Memphis could have those 3 first-rounders, but they're a little bit later, so. I mean, Memphis is trying to rebuild a little bit. It's kind of surprising to me they got rid of Jaren Jackson before they got rid of Ja.
Same.
I thought they would have tried to build around Jaren Jackson, him being in the all-defensive, damn near strength. He's been in the league. Like, he's always been up there. If it wasn't for Wemby, he would have won last year. Or no, I think he did win last year, actually, because Wemby got hurt and he missed the rest of the year. So I think Jackson actually did win DPOY last year. But and he's been way more healthy than Ja. Like, there's multiple reasons I think where they should have built around him. But I guess maybe at this point that, like, they're getting more for him. So, like, they're definitely not going to get as much as they did for Jackson as they are for Ja. But I think for right now, like, the Jazz have something solid to build around for sure. It's tough that they lost that many upcoming picks, but right now you got a solid team to build with. Especially next year once Walker Kessler comes back. Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson, Markkanen, Ace Bailey, Keontae George. Those 3 off the bench for sure. I don't really watch the Jazz really a ton. I don't really care that much about them. But I mean, just talking about this trade,
One thing about them, they
can put up points.
They can put some buckets up for sure.
And just adding Jaren Jackson to that, like that helps their defense a lot for sure. That makes them a lot better of a defensive team. And
That's what they need too.
He's a great two-way player too. So if he can find his offense too, like and add, So I think that could be a bit dangerous. No, Jazz didn't really give up a ton in that trade. Really, just draft picks, 2 expiring contracts, and a third-year player who who had to deal with injury. I think last year hasn't really been able to have that good of a run in games, and he's been on the Jazz too. So it's not like he's been short of opportunity. But that being said. I still don't think the Jazz are gonna be able to compete with the best.
This year? 15 and 36.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think? So I mean, what do you think next few years though? Like, what do you think that looks for him? Because the West, I feel like it's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess if they keep Laurie and JJ, and like they don't really, I guess if Keontae George progresses into an all-star caliber guard, then they really have a big three. But I don't know. Like it would take a lot for them to really compete with the Denver and the LA and OKC and just all those teams that are really competing to win a championship for the next 5 years. Really, So just what's your take on that trade, kind of just JJJ going over there, and what do you think the Utah's going to be in the West for the next few years?
Well,
or as long as they have.
Before I dive into that, I think the most interesting thing about this is that you don't most of the time when you trades and shit like that, when you have a player that's Jaren Jackson is a all-star, not a superstar, not a one of those, but even a player of that caliber. When you have 2 teams that aren't really in the mix, it's rare that you see a player on that level get traded. I mean, if you look down here, even there, you look, at least one of the teams are in playoff contention, right? Because they're looking to add that final piece to make a run for it, or you're losing. You're like, whatever. Let me get this contract off and move forward. And I thought it was interesting, honestly, that both teams that they made this trade. And like you said with Ja, I think I don't know if he'll get traded this year, because I don't think a team, unless it's a bad team, is going to be willing to take on the extracurricular activities that comes, what I'm saying, with Ja.
Yeah.
And so I think, with that being said, I think it was a little interesting with that on the Memphis side. Utah, but it all started kind of. I feel like with Desmond Bane, I thought the towers were starting to crumble at that point, right? I felt like it was a matter of time.
With Dylan Brooks too.
That's so more just because
when they had that team with Ja, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane,
good team.
Yeah, no, it was solid.
Yeah,
they were dangerous.
Yeah, but I don't think they were ever a team where we thought they would win a championship. They were good. They were really good. I think one of those years they were in the first or top 2 seeds. They were, but I just thought it was one of those you get those teams kind of like Cleveland last year, where Cleveland was the number 1 seed, but nobody had the idea that they were going to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You had Boston, you had New York, and then Indiana kind of came out of nowhere, but not nowhere, but just their playoff performance kind of came out of nowhere, but
somewhat.
Yeah, so I think with that being said, I think that I don't know, it's interesting. I do think Utah will be good. I think that they will probably win a trade. I mean, but it's hard to say because Memphis, it may take a while. It may take a while until they get to where they need. But I don't know. That Utah team is good though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like them boys can score. I like Keontae George a lot. I really like him. I think. If he's a bona fide scorer, second or third year, averaging 23, almost 24 this year. But I don't think it's going to put him, like you said, in a championship talk. But, it's weird because, teams these days come out of left field out of always. Indiana, beginning of the year, somebody would have told you Indiana last year was going to be in the finals. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying, like that. So it's a lot of this shit is circumstantial, right? And just happen to play a team at the right time when they were missing. So you got to, similar to what a lot of people think happened with the Patriots this year, and why they're in the Super Bowl. No Bo Nix, no Nico Collins. You know what I'm saying? In both of those games, those are two big misses to have, especially Denver. Not having a starting quarterback for anybody. Not having a starting quarterback. So
especially how good that Bo had been.
Right. So I think with that, I think Utah could be good. I think it depends on how what they do with this. Because honestly, the way it is now, it's like you have literally like a 2 to maybe 4-year window these days. Back in the day, a lot of teams would be not satisfied, but they would be like satisfied. Honestly, I'll use that word, satisfied with being just relevant, right? And you see coaches that had a fucking overall record of 55-70, and they were coaching there for 6-7 years. These days, you won't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not an immediate turnaround, then you pretty much out the door unless you have, unless you're a respectable coach or unless you're paid a lot of money.
Or you have good pieces you're working with, and right. The franchise is giving you a little bit of time.
Correct, yeah, but it's rare. It's rare to see that these days, and even players, coaches, all that shit.
No, you definitely have to have you can't be having losing seasons. Like if you're having losing seasons nowadays, you're not gonna be coaching that team for more than 2 years, like max.
Right, and
a lot of coaches are going out after a year of having a losing season.
Yeah, bro,
it's tough.
That shit is crazy. That's I think that's why it's just. Almost everything is circumstantial, bro.
Even when Tom Thibodeau got fired last year, and the Knicks made Eastern, they won a playoff round, and Tom Thibodeau still got fired.
2 playoff rounds.
Did they? Or
the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, they did. Indiana. They did make the finals. I forgot they beat the Celtics.
So, exactly. That's my point. But Thibodeau's had a history of, I guess what people say is riding their coaches or riding their players a little bit too much happening. And he wasn't really much on the bench. He was, you look at the starting lineup and everybody in that starting lineup was 40 minutes a game, which is taxing on an 82-game season. So, he was the coach when Derrick Rose got hurt. Jalen Brunson has kind of always been a player that's been banged up. But, it has been a history of a lot of players underneath him getting hurt. Even when he coached for Minnesota. I'm pretty sure that he was a head coach when Jimmy Butler was there 8 years ago. They made it to the first, or they lost in the first round, I believe, but Jimmy Butler ended up, going out midway through the season and having a knee injury and never really kind of came back to Butler form, but Thibodeau's kind of, like I said, has had a history of that. But I think Utah. I think that they definitely have a chance to be to cause some problems in the Western Conference, because it's not anything can happen. OKC is eventually, that team isn't going to stay together forever. They got to start paying people, and those people are going to want top dollar.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, they're gonna want top dollar. You look at, like Denver, same thing. A lot of those players are already paid, but they're getting older. You know what I mean? Jamal Murray, is close. You know what I mean? On the older side of, like, he's not falling off, but like him, Aaron Gordon, and even Nikola Jokic, I believe is 30. All of them are 30 and up. You know what I'm saying? So this is not, all it takes is one major injury to change or shake up a whole, lineup per se. So, with them, Denver's window is kind of closing as well as far as getting another championship. Know what the Lakers, Houston, don't really know how long, KD jumps, goes from team to team. So we don't know. There's a lot of question marks in both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like,
and in 3 years from now, the league it could be a lot different. 2-3 years from now, Jalen Williams could be playing for somebody else, or Chet Holmgren. You know what I mean? Like OKC could just kind of.
I feel like in the West. Honestly, like Minnesota having Ant, OKC. Okay, yeah, and I'm glad I looked at this because I wasn't about to. I forgot about
San Antonio's good for the next little while because they're young.
Because they have.
They're not paying anybody right now
because they have De'Aaron and Wemby.
Well, yeah, and they already gave De'Aaron his money. Wemby hasn't gotten paid yet. Castle hasn't got paid yet. Vassell hasn't got paid yet. Mm-hmm. And another player,
Harper.
Yeah, and I honestly love, bro, watching. Fucking, even at the Hornets game when I was texting you on Saturday and shit, and then the game was it Friday or Thursday? San Antonio played. They can't. Or it was against Houston. Yep, against Houston. I want to say Friday. Yeah, I want to say Friday or Thursday. Yeah, I want to say Friday night. They played, and San Antonio ended up coming back and winning. And I watched that game, and Houston was kind of. But Dylan Harper was like. Every time he got to the paint. It was positive. It was either a kick out to an open shooter or he was layups. He did not miss inside. He just always made the right play, got good size. Like, I love, what they have in Dylan Harper. I love everything that they have over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a fucking solid goddamn, but, with these days, you only have, like, a good, especially when you get them young, you got a grace period in between, 2 to 4 years before you start having to pay these guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't have to pay anybody. Wemby may be coming, I think, next year, the year before that, or a year after that. Wemby is going, because he's going to be in his fourth year at that point, fourth or fifth year. So he's his rookie contract. So he's obviously, they're going to drop the whole fucking, he's going to get paid the whole Brinks truck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're going to back the whole motherfucker up and just drop it off.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid
it's fucking driveway.
Max. Probably a 5-year max.
Yeah, they're not, San Antonio is not letting him go. No, but also, I thought the same thing with Kawhi. I thought San Antonio was never letting Kawhi go, and that whole injury and fucking team doctor shit and all this shit changed that. But Wemby, I don't think is going anywhere for the foreseeable future.
I feel like just Wemby coming over here from another country too, and like just San Antonio is like the first place that he played at, and like I feel like he feels like at home in San Antonio. Like the fans love him, and
and they got good ownership.
And I was just like, he's also got a great relationship with Popovich too.
Well, he's not even there no more.
Well, no, but he still has he's definitely a reason that he's there for sure.
Yeah, he is. Pop definitely. He got but I guess you could say that. But anybody who would have won that lottery that year would have picked Wemby.
I feel like he played because Pop
was the coach last year.
Yeah, so Wemby played for him.
He did, but I'm saying like drafting wise, as far as like, him being there because of Pop. It's just San Antonio just so happened to win that lot. People were trading left and right trying to get. No, you're right. I remember hearing about Victor Wembanyama, bro, a year before. Just what everybody was saying, and so he was a
whoever had. No, I get what you mean. Whoever had the one pick was going to get him, but I feel like him having that relationship with Pop, and like just also having Tony Parker as well, just being because. Did he win? How many championships did he win?
Tony Parker.
Yeah, 4. Damn, he has 4. But so
they won in 07 or 06. 07, 2013, and then damn, okay, man, that's killing me right now. Might have looked that up,
but no, yeah. So like just saying that, like Tony Parker definitely influenced basketball in France a lot. Like I mean, because like Wemby was growing up, kind of watching that. Like when Tony Parker was really getting big into the league, like he definitely inspired Wemby. So just for Wemby to get drafted to the Spurs, where Tony Parker made his name at, like I feel like there's I feel like Wemby just he feels like he has to be there. Like I don't know, it just feels like it was kind of destined for him to go to San Antonio and play for Pop for a few years, and then so. But I feel like we should go into this other trade, or here.
No, I just looking up. Well, that's right. Yeah, 03, 05, 07, 2014.
Okay.
So.
Literally, Wemby was a kid growing up watching that. So for him to get drafted to San Antonio, like I was just saying, I feel like that's just destined. Like that's crazy for San Antonio to get the number one pick the year that the French superhuman is up for the draft.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
But I want to go into this trade between. It was a 3-team between Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago. Chicago has made a few moves in the last few days. I don't really know what they're doing over there. I feel like they're probably not done making moves either, the way they've been shuffling around. But so they got Mike Conley and Jaden Ivey. The Bulls did. And then Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric over to the Pistons, and also a protected 2026 first rounder, which is nice for sure. I'm happy about that, and I think right now Kevin Huerter could come off the bench. And I mean, I was gonna say maybe potentially start, but I mean I feel like as long as Duncan is playing like relatively well, we're gonna start him next to Cade. But definitely just coming off the bench, having a certified, like he's been on a few different teams. I don't think he's played a ton in the playoffs really, but he's been on like Atlanta, Sacramento. And Chicago.
He's
played at a few different teams.
Five. 10 playoff games.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably never got past the first round.
Yeah. Well, no, he was on the He was a part of that. He was a part of Atlanta team. So he's a conference finals.
Maybe if we can get him into just get him into the right position, and he feels at home in Detroit. Maybe he can get hot, help us out come All-Star break, come playoffs. I wouldn't mind it. We'll also see with Dario Saric, because I mean he's just I'm not really expecting a ton out of that. He's gonna come off the bench and just give us size. Yeah, we really just but we needed a little bit more size though, because we only have Duran, Stu, Paul Reed is really our only 3 6'10" plus guys who can really be who can block shots like that in the paint. We have Ron Holland, Desar, who can come in and swat shots, but you know what I mean, just big men who are gonna be who are gonna get like that in the paint. So I mean, he probably hopefully he can just play hopefully he can play decent defense and maybe knock down if he can knock down a few threes a game, that wouldn't be bad. Just space the floor a little bit.
Honestly, just space the floor, because y'all two, none of y'all bigs except for him can shoot consistently from 3.
Yeah, I mean Stu's been shooting a little bit more consistent,
but Dario is he's a shooter.
How long has he been in the league?
For a while. He's played for Philadelphia. He's played for Phoenix. He's played for a bunch of teams. But, one thing that's why, he's a shooter. So, when you're a shooter like that, especially these days,
you just get passed around the league a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can use a shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can shoot the ball, you're going to last a while in the league.
Yeah. That makes sense.
JJ Redick, fucking Danny Green. When you go up on shooters, it shouldn't be strictly just shooting the ball. You know what I mean? But I think y'all won that trade. I think Kevin Herter, Jaden Ivey is kind of, had his chance. It hurts because you spent, a number 2 pick or number 3 pick. Yeah. So top 5. But I think Chicago is just, washing everything, starting to get...
Chicago has a lot of guards right now. And
they do. I think, but they might be making more. I mean, it could be a setup for something else, but they also clearing contracts. Maybe could be a thing for them. And then you getting a decent 2-guard, whatever, alongside Kobe White. And then you have Mike Conley, who is a veteran. You know what I mean? So I think Mike Conley that was, more of just them trying to fucking, distinguish. Because I think they spent a little decent money. I think fucking the guy y'all traded for, I think it was Herter, I believe it was like a 3-year, $40, $50, $60 million contract when he signed with Chicago.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but, I think they dumped that off because of that contract. Because Dario Saric is probably getting league minimum as far as like pay. Mike Conley's not going to warrant that much money, and Jaden Ivey won't. Kevin Herter was he was coming off, playing good in Atlanta. He was a shooter, and shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shooters are going to get paid, especially when you can shoot the ball. You're going to get paid. And so he kind of showed a little upside in Atlanta. So I think that's why he got the contract he did in Chicago. But
he was at Sacramento after Atlanta, though, wasn't he? I feel like he was at Sacramento, and then he got traded to Chicago.
It was a part of that. It was, yeah.
But I want to talk about
it was a part of that DeRozan trade, wasn't it? DeRozan Levine, I'm pretty sure, because he's in Sacramento at the time, and they traded DeRozan Levine.
That sounds right.
And so I think he's a part of that trade.
I don't think Levine and DeRozan, they didn't go at the same time. I want to say one of them one in the in the trade deadline we're in right now, and then one of them went in the off season.
Yeah,
I don't think DeRozan and Levine went to the Sacramento at the same time. But I feel like Herter was probably a part of the off season deal, and he
one of those
Chicago, or he was he in Chicago all last year? He might have been in Chicago for last year.
That trade was last year.
Yeah, so I think he was in Chicago for all last year and then this half year, and then they dumped him. Yeah. I don't want to check now, but I do want to get into that last trade before time runs out because we only got a little bit of time left. So.
I know about that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck. Well, we're probably not going to be able to get into all of them. Was it fucking Vucevic to the Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. So,
and that goes on to that trade. Like, Chicago is dumping all, like they made 2 big decent-sized trades today. They got rid of Herter or whatever, and they got rid of fucking Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
So, Chicago's, like I said, they're kind of emptying it, and I feel like they're building around Kobe White.
And they also got that second-round pick from the Celtics. Yeah,
and then Anthony Simons, I think he'll be a guy that you'll see his points per game go up a little bit over there because he's going to have more of a green light shooting there versus in Boston where you're behind Jaylen Brown and Derek White, and then sometimes Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, because
now you're just behind Kobe White.
Yeah, Anthony Simons wasn't really starting ever, and he was.
He was decent. For Portland.
I'm saying for Celtics though.
He was coming. He just didn't fit. He didn't fit for them.
For Portland though, he was doing good for them.
He was solid.
So. I thought it might be a decent fit when he got traded to the Celtics because before Tatum got Hurt, they're always in contention, right? And he definitely could have been a great piece for them off the bench if they're in contention, which is kind of I was surprised when I saw they traded him, to be honest, because he's Anfernee Simons, because he's probably their best player off the bench, scoring wise.
Peyton Pritchard is.
He's been starting a little bit. It's been like him and Derek White. I feel like he's their point guard, bro.
Derek White.
Let me look at their depth chart, bro, because I feel like I've seen Pritchard starting a lot of games this year. I might be tripping, but yeah, bro, Peyton Pritchard is the point guard on their depth chart. Pretty sure he's started.
Well, yeah, I mean he's the only point guard on their depth chart.
Yeah, but I think he started all their games this year.
Not all of them. There's no
48 out of 48, bro. He hasn't came off the bench one time this year.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe that's just but he's also
it's because Tatum can't play that shooting. Like it's because Brown has to kind of fill into Tatum's role a little bit, and so they just play Derek at shooting guard. Well, but who did they have? Drew. No, when was? Because who was their point guard last year? Because Derek
Holiday.
Yeah, was Drew Holiday there last year? Yeah, so
but a lot of times
they definitely need a point. Unless Peyton Pritchard can be their point guard for the future.
But the thing is though, is they probably have him listed as a shooting guard.
Who?
Derek White, but Derek White is their main ball control. Like he's like almost like a hybrid. Like he's a point guard in. Like a shooting guard body. You know what I'm saying? Like he can bring the rock up. You know what I'm saying? Like he makes good decisions. He can dribble. He can shoot.
I feel like he just doesn't really give me natural point guard. Like I feel like he just doesn't really see the floor. I feel like he can't really facilitate. Like he can get the team involved a little bit, but I feel like he's just not the facilitator you need as a point guard. Maybe I don't watch enough of the Celtics or just like enough of his game, but from what I've seen from him, like he's a lot more spot up shooting a little bit. Like he can definitely get his own shot as well. But a lot of what I see him a lot of spot up shooting.
IQ.
Yeah, and
that's what's up.
Yeah, just knowing where to be, he gets himself open really well for sure.
He's one of the better defending guards.
He's a great defender.
And he makes the right plays.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And what tutelage he was under where he was drafted and spent a lot of time in his career, and what coach he played for? San Antonio. Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One thing one thing you gonna learn with Pop, when you plant is just how that way is. But obviously it's the first year. And you got to look at it like this. This is without Tatum. You know what I mean? Like, if Tatum's there, Derek White numbers is different. He went from third, sometimes fourth option to being a second option. Because last year they had Drew Holiday, they had Porzingis, they had Tatum, they had Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had, at any point, who the number 1 and 2 options are is Tatum and Brown. You know what I mean?
They also moved on from Horford, too.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So, this year...
Was Porzingis on there last year, too?
Yes, yep, he was on there last year. And so...
This is his first year in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, and so you go look at it this year, I
feel like... Well, but just what were you going to say? I feel like...
You look at it going into... Derek White is different because he is playing... And he honestly... It was kind of a rotation because, how many times have we seen Tatum bringing a ball up? How many times have we seen Jaylen Brown bringing a ball up? Derek White bringing a ball up? Drew Holiday bringing a ball. You know what I mean? Like,
you kind of see it out of all of them. A little bit.
What, on Boston?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about, if you're talking about, the last, 2 years, like they kind of had any of those guys that were able to bring, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, White, Pritchard are all people who could bring the ball up and kind of run the offense a bit. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I do see what you're saying about Pritchard. But Well, so yeah, I mean, what do you so Vucevic now? So they're adding Vucevic to that team.
Big for them.
Yeah. So I mean,
that makes them,
that's another
That's trouble for y'all.
Yeah, but I don't think it's anything we can handle. I think that Duran is I think that he's game enough for Vucevic. It'll be tough. The moves that were made in the East today are definitely gonna be tough, but it is what it is, and we'll see what we can do about it. All right, then we'll wrap it up on that. We'll talk about Harden going to Cleveland a little bit in the next episode. Wrap up on those
All-Star weekend coming up.
Yeah, we got some things to talk about, so we're definitely gonna have you guys entertained next week. Lock into the Super Bowl this weekend, and yeah, see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.